Good morning, fellow traders. It's Nutty Bar. You know what time it is. It's never good when I put out a recording video in the morning. It's just never good. And this is no different. I'm sure some of you guys saw my post. I did put a post out on YouTube last night. I tried doing a video last night. I couldn't do it. Nothing. I probably tried recording that video 6-7 different times. I didn't have the words to describe how I felt and what happened. I'm not sure I do. I still don't really. But it is what it is. I owe you guys a video of explaining, or at least just sharing my thoughts. And when I share my thoughts and kind of talk through what happened, there's a couple things I want to say. It helps me. It really helps me move on. So here goes. It started last night, not last night, but the night before. So for those of you that remember yesterday when I came on stream, I had one of my Lucid accounts. It was actually this Lucid account right here. I had a $11,000 loss on that Lucid account. And it all started there, okay? I tried to tell myself that it was fine and that I could stream and keep trading, but in all reality, I knew I shouldn't. But basically the night before this night, I was trading my Lucid account and I got into one of those, I don't know what to call it other than a tilt session where I was not trading any kind of setup. I was just upset. I was frustrated with the market. And then I kept putting on bigger and bigger size until I hit my $11,000 daily loss limit on that account. And then when I was frustrated like that, I went to QuantGuard because I knew, like, mentally, I knew I need to go in and just lock out my trading for all of my accounts. I knew I needed to do that. Unfortunately, QuantGuard was down. QuantGuard was under maintenance. That's a whole separate discussion. It is what it is. I'm trying to be patient with QuantGuard. Am I a little bit frustrated? Yeah, I am, but it's part of, I know Miles is trying his hardest and there's just a lot of bugs that still need worked out. I keep thinking that the bugs are about gone and then something else seems to come up. It's unfortunate. It's not his fault. I don't want this to be taken anything other than this is my fault, no one else's. But I'm just sharing it because I knew mentally and from previous experiences, I need to shut down all my trading for the day. I knew that. And so yeah, when I went to lock out and I couldn't, I walked away. I took a nap for I took like a 3-hour nap until it was time to stream in the New York session. But yeah, I mean, honestly, it did not, during the day, I was still frustrated. And when I ended stream, let me see if I can find kind of where the carnage happened. I don't know, where did I end? I ended stream. Okay, the other reason, like the problem, and again, these are just different things that happened that triggered me, and I don't want it to come across as an excuse. But then during the streaming session, I started having internet issues, and it wasn't even Kevin, by the way. So want to make that clear. It wasn't actually Kevin. It wasn't Kevin. There were some other issues with my actual internet provider. I was on the phone with them getting no help, and that frustrated me. So I just had like this compounding frustration after frustration happening yesterday. And it just, yeah, I mean, mentally shouldn't have been trading. It's just that simple. But when the stream finally disconnected, I was having internet issues, and yeah, went in with my Apex accounts. Thought, okay, this is what kind of started it all. I was kind of looking at a double bottom here, and when we made this move above this EMA, that's where I jumped in on my Apex accounts. And the problem when I trade, when I'm frustrated like that, I have a tendency to not accept a loss. Basically, when I trade, I just don't accept a loss. And that's what happened. I entered, I was waiting and waiting for a test of this double bottom. And I thought once we made a move back above this EMA, I thought, okay, we're going to make a move back higher. And I jumped in long, and it just, you can see what happened from there. Literally did not accept my loss. Then the wheels just completely fell off. And I mean, this is painful to even, you guys have no idea. My take profit trader accounts, it is actually insane. I should have taken a screenshot, but it was too painful. I'm not joking, guys. Like, I am not joking when I say my because my Apex accounts were blown somewhere here at the 700s. I think it was the 720s. I kid you not. I lost my take, and then I just, like, at that point, all bets were off, and I just didn't care anymore. I didn't care. I was so upset. And yeah, jumped into my take profit trader accounts, and I thought, oh, we're gonna get a nice move higher. And I'm just gonna get that nice move higher. And the best way to make this all feel better is to get my take profit trader accounts above the threshold. I know I'm an idiot. I know. Yep, I got stopped out. My liquidation on my take profit trader accounts was hit at 24,631.5. I kid you not. You can't make this up. 24,631.5 is where I was liquidated on my take profit trader accounts. And it is what it is. Like I said, well, then I bet you can't guess what happened. So I decided, funding ticks. Why not blow those accounts as well? I don't want any accounts. Guess what I did? I go short on this candle. I thought, okay, fine, market. You want to keep going lower? So I short on this move, and just literally took 2 minutes. That account, those were, it was the perfect disaster that you can think of. It was, and now here we are again, having to deal with the aftermath. I'm trying to keep things in perspective as well. I know I tend to I take it really hard when I do this. I'm really hard on myself. I am really hard on myself because, honestly, at this stage of my trading, I feel like I shouldn't be doing this. That's why I'm so hard on myself. I'm just like my dad would tell me, son, I'm not mad at you. I'm just disappointed. That is how I feel. I'm very disappointed in myself. I should be past this happening. This has now happened twice in the last 4 weeks. And to me, that's unacceptable. I know it is part of trading, and it obviously, you know, I don't know. It is what it is. But I'm going to take a little bit of a break. That's, I guess, what I want to say is I needed a little bit of a mental break. I'm going to be looking at trying to, okay, one of the main things looking back, self-reflection, being honest with myself. The number one thing, like coming away with this, is I need to have better self-discipline. That's really the bottom line. I do use QuantGuard a lot to help me with that. I'm all for having software to help me, but it just kind of really shows the flaws of it when you put your when you have that as your go-to method for your self-discipline. I mean, it's great when everything's working, and I still am going to use it, but I also need to do better with having self-discipline on my own. And I almost use it like a crutch. It's almost like I gave myself permission. Once I saw that I couldn't lock myself out with QuantGuard in a weird, twisted way, I kind of gave myself permission to keep trading. Like, it's like, oh, well, if that's down, then that means I should, then it's fine. I'm just going to keep going. Instead of having self-discipline and just, you know, acknowledging that, no, I am not in a good place right now to trade. I need to walk away, shut everything down and go golfing or do something. And that was the other problem. Yesterday, it was raining all day long. There were a couple times, like when the internet issues were happening, I was like, you know what? I should just shut down and go golfing. Then I look and like, oh, it's raining. Can't even go golfing. And I was like, it's a sign I should keep trading. I'm such an idiot. But anyway, I mean, I know we all go through this, and I'm no one special. I know this. I get it. It's something I want to work on, my discipline. I want to get to a point where I have the self-discipline on my own to walk away. And I don't really tie, like, for me, I don't want to tie like a certain dollar amount to it so much as my mental capital. Like, once my mental capital is in the red a certain amount, that's when I need to walk away. I kind of look at it like this. When I get a good night's sleep, or when I start out the day fresh, like I start out the day fresh, I look at it like, you know, my mental capital is full, and I look at it like that. So, and then as I go throughout the day, every time I take a trade, maybe I take a loss, or maybe I have FOMO and I chase a trade. Like, when I do something that I'm a little, you know, maybe disappointed, or maybe it wasn't the best setup or the best trade, a little bit of that mental capital gets drained. And when my mental capital is empty, that is usually when I'm pretty good at kind of recognizing when my mental capital is spent. And that's usually where I go in and I lock myself out. But I want to be able to, I want to really, really, really try, put in an actual effort to, when I have that, walk away and doing it on my own. And that's my objective. That's kind of my goal. Going forward is going to be a really, really big part of, for me going forward. I know I need it. So I also, you know what? I also need it in my personal life. Like, not to get too personal, but I am going to go on a diet. I'm going to challenge myself. I mean, I'm not overweight by any stretch of the imagination. I know that, but I could use a diet. Like, I know I would feel better, etc., better exercise. So I'm not only going to try to implement self-discipline in my trading, I'm also going to do it in my life, in my real life, where go on a diet, watch what I eat, and just be more self-disciplined as a whole. Saying no to things that I want to, that my, maybe my brain wants to do, and just say no. Anyway, that's kind of how I feel this morning. Obviously, we do still, as you can see, we have trade day accounts. I don't know why I didn't blow those yesterday. I guess it just didn't make sense to blow evals. It didn't make sense to me. I don't even know why I didn't trade those, but by some miracle, we still have trade day evals. I think I'm on day number 4 on these accounts. And then my Lucid accounts, you can see I still have those 2 accounts. So obviously I'm going to trade those, especially this account. So this account here, I need 3 more days of basically $600. Excuse me. And then I can request another payout on that account. Outside of that, honestly, I'm going to take a little bit of time away from streaming. I don't know how long. I probably can't stay away too long, to be honest. I can't see myself staying away from streaming for maybe more than, I don't know, 2-3 days. I'll be back next week at some point, and I'm not sure what kind of evals or accounts I'm going to look at getting. I'm not sure. Right now I don't really know, but I'm going to, the other thing I'm probably going to at least look at is, I want to get a little better system in place for my trading strategy. Like, I do think my trading strategy could be cleaned up quite a bit. I've looked back at some of the trades I've been taking the last 2 weeks, and I am taking way too many feel out trades, I call it. Like, maybe random is the better word to use, but almost like, okay, I'm going to feel out a trade here where I don't really have a really good conviction on it, or like, it's not really a great setup, but, I don't know. I just want to make sure I'm not just taking boredom trades or random trades. And I don't know. I have got a couple ideas that I was not back testing, but keeping an eye on. One thing where I blow up the most accounts is when it's almost always on these kind of moves. These kind of moves where we just have 100-point pullback, or we have 100-point pullback followed with 100-point move up. Like, those 2 moves are kind of my arch nemesis. I guess I'm looking at some of that as, okay, how can I just make sure I don't, just stay away when that is happening, or it has maybe a higher percentage chance of happening. I know we can't see the future, whatever, but anyway, I don't know. There's a lot of things I'm kind of going to be working through the next couple days. I'll be back probably next week sometime, but I'm going to take a couple days off and just reset my mental, and we're going to work on I'm going to really, really focus on discipline. And I know it's not going to be it is never a easy path. We go through setbacks. It's okay, but I want to see myself make progress over time. All right. I think that's it. Thanks for listening to my rant. I feel better already. Sorry, I'm going to miss you guys. I'll be back. And thank you all for the support. You guys are very supportive, and I really appreciate it. Thank you. And we'll be back. This too shall pass. I hope you guys have a great rest of the week. Have a great trading sessions. I hope you guys all end green. And I hope to see you on next week. So take care and God bless.